We will be beginning the broadcast in just a couple of minutes. Let me know if the sound is okay this morning. Okay, it's time for us to begin. Lots of questions this morning, lots of cool stuff going on. I really appreciate you all being in with us today. This is going to be a fun day. We're going to have a good time this morning, and if it's morning where you are, if it's afternoon where you are, we're going to have a good time this afternoon. So great, good to have you all on with us. And I see we've got a huge crowd. Feel free to go ahead and introduce yourself. I've already seen some people roll by here, almost too fast for me to catch up. So let's see, who do we have here? We have Kimsiah, we have Marshall, we have Max, Max the beta user of Youzign from Africa, Philip and Gavin and Herman and Dean and Tony and Al and Leah and Mike, and it's going by so fast I can't catch where y'all are from. So I appreciate you being here. It looks like we have a great audience today. Carol from PA, Mike from London, Leah from Charleston, South Carolina, Al from Tennessee. Always have a lot of people from Tennessee. That's kind of cool. Daryl from Lansing, Michigan, Tyree from Houston, Texas, and Sam from East Tennessee. Isabella from Toronto, and we have Dawn from Florida. Hi, Jeffrey. Good crowd today, really good crowd, and it's growing as we go here. David from the UK. Stephen says there's no sound here. Should there be? Stephen, try refreshing. I can't tell you. Let's see. Somebody tell Stephen to refresh his page, and sound should come up. Can you do that for me? Y'all are great about being able to answer questions. I'm seeing questions answered already this morning, so I appreciate that. Thank you so much for that. Maddie from Texas, James from Coventry, UK. Good job, guys. Very good job. Thank you so much. I appreciate your help. And I've already seen some questions get answered. AC got a question answered a little bit ago. So good job, guys. Thank you very much. That's one of the things I love about this group is that you all are so helpful to each other. And it's always interesting to watch you answer questions and address issues as we go here. So I greatly, greatly appreciate that. And thank you so much for helping to participate in that way. That really helps us to have a great experience for everybody that's involved. So what we're going to do this morning is we're going to jump in here, and I'm going to share with you some maybe the coolest integration that we've ever had at Youzign. This is a very deep integration, and I'm going to tell you all about that in just a minute. I think Jeffrey's saying here he bought the software much better than Dropbox, and we're going to give you an update on smart mockups this morning. And so this is going to be an opportunity for us to explore this software. If you've picked that up like Jeffrey has, I think you're going to love it. If you haven't yet, we're going to give you an opportunity to do that today. And we're going to share with you some really cool things with this soft smart mockup. I'll get it right here in a minute. Smart mockup. I got too many things going on in the chat box with the smart mockups today that I think you're really, really going to like. Okay. Ed's asking a question here. I'll try to take note of this. When you get to the Q&A, is there a fix for whatever makes Youzign crash my Chrome browser when I import images? I'm not even sure how that's happening, Wade. Ed, that might be a question that you need to ask to support and see if that helps you. We'll do what we can here to try to give you some help. Good question from Tony, and we're going to address that question in just a minute. Tony, does Youzign import from smart mockups, or is it the other way around? I have both. Great. We're going to talk about that. Max from Portugal, it's good to have you this morning. All right. Then let's jump in here. Andre says he's already bought this. He's already bought smart mockups. I think you're going to like the things that we're going to go through today, Andre. I think this is going to be helpful to you. So, okay, good. And I was just about to say that we even have Lucas from Smart Mockups on the chat with us today. So any questions that you have, feel free to ask. Lucas is going to jump in the chat. If I see a question come up, and again, as always, if you have a question, don't hesitate to use the red question mark bar down in the bottom where the chat bubble is at. If you click on that, it will pop up. Bob's asking, is this training on just smart mockups? This is going to be training that is going to involve smart mockups. Correct, Bob. Purchased last night, waiting for the training. Good. So if you have questions, hit that red question mark box down there, and Lucas will be watching, and Lucas from Smart Mockups is here so that he can give us some support if we have questions that go beyond my understanding. So that would be great. That will be great. All right. Stephen, if you click down in the lower corner, follow down the right hand side there, you'll see the number of viewers, and you'll see where it says end. You'll see the chat box right there. There is a link button. Click on that link button and see if that fixes your problem. If not, I'm just parked here at the weekly training page. If that's what you're asking, we're parked at the weekly training page, and I'm fixing to move on right now. Okay. All right, Jeffrey's asking, how does this compare to Dropbox? So let's get into this, and we'll see what we can see if I can give you some help here and let you know what we've got going on. First thing I wanted to mention was that things are happening with Youzign, and I wanted to be able to use this as a reminder. This is actually a smart mockup design, and I've dropped the Youzign image here that I shared with you last week. And so just a reminder to you that coming up here with Youzign and what we're doing with that platform, you're going to have the ability to be able to upload video, and you're going to be able to do a screen recording. A screen recording is going to be amazing inside of Youzign. So just a reminder, we have not yet, the question is there training for Youzign? Other than what you see going on inside of the Facebook group right now, there hasn't been a training webinar on Youzign yet, but I'm sure that will be coming up. Let's see. I'm getting a notification here. I'm on Chrome, no issues. Let's see. All right, good. Okay, let's talk about smart mockups for a while. I got a chance to take a careful look at this software just recently, and I absolutely love what I find here with Smart Mockups. And we're going to go into the details of the program. Lucas, feel free to jump in here, make a comment. I'll be watching for that, and when you do, I'll repeat that comment out publicly here. So if you have anything to share, feel free to do so. First thing I want you to notice is that this program has a huge number of mock-ups in it. 393 different mock-ups as of right now in Smart Mockups. It is a desktop software that's available for you to be able to use on both a Mac and a PC. I love the desktop software. I really like cloud-based programs, but being able to load this to your desktop and work back and forth with it with Youzign is going to be amazingly fast, because it will be amazingly fast because it's loaded onto your desktop. Okay. And Tony, you're going to see the Tesla files in just a minute. I think you'll find those kind of cool. As a matter of fact, if you look carefully at this image right here, this is the Tesla files. You notice the Tesla image right there. So you'll be able to see that, but they're inside of the program. Louis, as always, the training these webinars are always available next week. They're always available the following week in the support channel on Youzign. Okay. Now, I had somebody ask when we started this webinar how they could buy Youzign, and so if we have, if Sabrina or Bertrand or someone, Rose or someone is on the call right now, feel free to share that link so that they can get access to purchasing Youzign. Okay. All right. Alan, Lucas is, how often are the new mock-ups? That's a good question. How often are the new mock-ups? All right, I'm watching carefully here the questions. Lots of questions being asked. Lucas, can you help? Can you help? There you go. Good job. Okay. All right. There's a little delay between the time you ask the question and the time I see it come up. So I'm trying to keep caught up with you here. But the first thing is the Smart Mockups. It's a desktop software, works available on the Mac and the PC. 393 different mockups as of right now. And it's fully integrated with Youzign. I'm going to show you what I mean by fully integrated in just a little bit. This is, we're getting raving reviews inside of the Youzigners group already. No, Patrick, the great thing about Smart Mockups is that you have a lifetime license and you don't have to purchase your designs. You have Smart Mockup, you have the designs, you do not have to purchase them with credit. Okay. All right. The next thing is, I just want to walk you through some of the images here. I want to walk you through some of the images. The first one here, we've got devices like here's a great image of a Mac desktop and in a studio mock-up like this. And then you have these kind of marketing mock-ups where you can actually take this to a client and go, here's my design inside of this. Is this going to be helpful to you? Can use a GIF inside of a pic instead of a pic inside of Smart Mockups? No. As of right now, it just imports images. If there's something else, Lucas, please address that question if you would. Okay. This is the thing that I was probably the most excited about with Smart Mockups, is that you have the billboard images. Billboard images in Smart Mockup. I've always looked for billboard images. This is something that is extremely important, is to have billboard images. We still have clients that use billboards. We still have people who are looking for an opportunity to be able to see what that billboard is what that's going to look like in a billboard, to make a decision, yay or nay, to decide I'm going to do this or I'm not going to do it. But the billboard images are amazing. And I'm so glad that we have billboard images inside of Smart Mockups, because that gives you the ability to be able to share some cool designs with your clients. It also expands your opportunity. If you have an opportunity to be able to share with them a billboard design, you're gonna expand your offering. It's gonna give you a chance. Okay, like I got it right here. Don just mentioned a client paid me $3,000 for one billboard image with a video. That's what I'm talking about. This program is going to open up other doors for you when you take a look at the billboard opportunities. So can we change the background image? There's a couple of backgrounds already that are there, and so you can change that image by, I believe on the billboard images that you can change that by having that be on a transparent background and then overlay a different image behind that. Correct me if I'm okay. So Lucas is saying that you will have the opportunity to be able to do that in the future with other changeable mock-ups. Good job. All right, I'm checking the questions, okay? And more. This is another image of being able to see these action shots for you to be able to take to a client. Here's your stuff on this iPad in action. You have a great opportunity to be able to expand your offer to your clients. And the things that you can do when you put that on in your marketing pieces, for you to be able to say on your website, this is something that we do, we can make available to you. Just a great piece for you to have inside of your marketing portfolio. We're going to do something really cool in just a little bit, and we're going to have some fun with this. So this is what I want you to do. If you will do this for me, I want you to get your, because I'm going to ask you for this in just a minute. I want you to get your URL for your website, your URL for your website, and we're going to drop your website inside of these images, okay? We're going to drop your website inside of these images. So stick with me and get that URL ready, because when I ask you to put it when I ask you to put it in the box, in the chat box, we're going to grab that and we're going to put it in there, okay? So hang on just a second. I don't want it yet, but hang on. We're going to show you how to do that, okay? All right, the questions are great, and Lucas is answering the questions as we go. Y'all pay careful attention to the chat box right now, because this is where the questions are really rolling. So here's the details. If you want Smart Mockup today, if you want Smart Mockups today, you get the free lifetime updates. You get $12 off for all Youzigners, and the sale ends on Sunday. So make sure that you jump in as soon as this is over on that link, and we're going to give you a link. Let's see, I had the link loaded. Let me make sure that this offer link comes out here. I don't know if you're getting that link or not. We've had some issues with our software this morning, so all right, there you go. Now you have, that's your link for Smart Mark. That's the link that's right here at the top, Youzign.com smart markups. So that will give you that $12 discount, and that sale ends on Sunday. So make sure that this is your chance to be able to see. This is your chance to be able to see it. All right, good job, guys. Great questions, great questions. I apologize for the slight delays. There's a little delay. We're having to juggle these things back and forth, so good job. All right, there's some freebies that are included. You get some additional mock-up designs and the 230 plus professionally designed mock-up graphics with source PSD files and a free download that are made available to you on that website. Plus, you also get the Tesla mock-ups, okay? There was a Tesla question that was asked earlier and I didn't catch it. Lucas, if you could address the Tesla questions, I would appreciate it. because I think those questions were addressed a minute ago, but if you could address the Tesla questions. So max the price is $37. It's $12 discount from the listed price of $49. That's correct. Lucas, if you could address Alan's question there, both updates to the software and the new mock-ups free for a lifetime. I want you to hear that directly from Lucas. I have the answer to that, but I want you to hear that directly from Lucas. This is a great opportunity for you, okay? And then we're going to address some questions that have to do specifically with Smart Mockup and how you might be able to use it in your business, in your design business, in your designs for your own business, and so on. Okay? Are you ready to go on? All right, I need the first 5 people to put your URL in. The first 5 people to put your URL in the chat box. I'm going to show you how to integrate your particular website. All right, so you got to stick. I'm going to have to write these down, so hang on. All right, I'll have to scroll back and get these as we go. Okay, let me change screens, and I will be right with you with the new application. Let me pull this up here, and I will just a second. Okay, you should see on the screen now my Smart Mockups program ends off the desktop. Okay, so let's go through this kind of quickly here, and I'm going to come back and grab 5 of these websites in just a minute. Okay, and you'll see how cool this is. These are the 393 designs that are available right now, but I want to show you something that's really cool, and I don't want to forget this, and this is a really good place to show you that. In this particular design, in these designs here, you'll notice the 4 buttons across the bottom. That allows you to change the design to a different color. Okay, so I can change the outside of my devices. Well, I should be able to change the outside. Yeah, there we go. There we go. All right. Now, what we're going to do is I'm going to pull a couple of these in here. Okay, so hang on. That's going faster than I can type. Do you see that? I just pulled that person's website right in, and all I had to do was tap in their URL, hit capture, and it pulls it into the image right here. Let me grab another one. I'm going to grab this one right here, and I'm going to drop that in. So tell me if you think that's pretty cool. We'll go to the next one, and I can do this across the board, okay? Which allows me to be able to change the design. Seems like we're moving a little slow today here. Let me see if. So we have that one. Let's take another one. And you can see how I can put 3 different ones in here. So I pulled 3 different websites into my design. Trying to read the comments while that's loading. Hang on a second. We're getting raving reviews from the people who've used the product too. Okay, Tyree's asking the question, does it have to be loaded to a WordPress platform? And the answer to that question is no. No, it's a desktop and Mac. It's correct. So there we go. Now we've taken 3 different websites and we've pulled them into this design. All right. Do you see how that worked? Are there any questions about that? Let's address the questions that you might have about pulling in an image from a URL. Nizam says, I did not use this feature yet, and that's pretty cool. This is a pretty cool feature. Now, I can save this image. I can add a color background to it, or I can save it with a transparent background. And when I save the image to a transparent background, that's what I'm going to get. Now, I'll have a transparent background here when I save the image, or I can put a color background to it. Okay? Those are the features that you have available to import the URL. Let's go back over here, because now let's see if we have any questions. Alan's asking a great question. Okay, so if somebody can grab that question for Alan, that would be a good idea. Let's scroll down here and take a look at these, and then I want you to tell me which ones of these is going to be your favorite. We'll pick a category, but as I look at this, we've got these standard images like this, and then we get into some amazing stuff down here. Can you see this? This gets into some pretty amazing design opportunities right here. So I'm going to grab one, and we're going to have a little fun. All right. All right. Question about the difference between drop mock and smart mockups. That question is a good question. You get lifetime license to the images, and you don't have to pay per download. If for no other reason, that one makes a ton of sense. Okay. So let's just grab this image right here, and let's go to Youzign, and we're going to integrate this with Youzign. All right. Now, I should have had a Youzign image that was saved here. Let's grab this one right here. Art gallery pics. Let's go. We'll scroll down here, Patrick, and you'll take a look and see what we might have that will fit that, because there's a couple of things that are fairly close. Okay. So there's my design. I just simply went to Youzign, grabbed a design, pulled that in. All right. So that's another way that you can accomplish that. Let's take a look here. All right. I want to do a very simple poll. We have the transparent background images, and you'll see them right here. And because I don't know anything better to call them, these are photo images. That's a better thing to call them. I just call them kind of sexy. These are kind of cool images that you can grab and you can pull in. There's a great idea right here. You can take these and you can use them in a very live kind of session. Okay. All right, got some great questions going on here. Great questions. So notice when you pull in a Youzign design. All right, this is a design for a specific website that we've sold, and we're showing the owner how to use this. Now you'll notice that that my original layout's sized a little bit differently, but when you crop that and you drop that in there, you get a look that's just like that. Okay. All right. I'm going to read Lucas's answer here because this is good. Once you buy smart mockups, you get all the mockups forever. We're adding new mockups and new features almost every week. It's also much faster with better features. And I would completely agree with that. It is a lot faster. You don't have to pay for your downloaded images, and they are adding new images. This number has grown drastically over the last month or so. This 393 number has grown drastically. Okay, so now this is what I want to do. We're going to give you all a chance. I'm going to give you all a chance to be able to, and Alan's asked a really good question here, so pay attention carefully to Lucas's answer on this, because these are mock-ups. These are not something that you're going to sell. They're a mock-up. What you're selling is you're selling the design. Okay. But Lucas is saying you can sell them for commercial. You can use them for commercial purposes. Correct. Okay. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to give you all a chance to vote. Which of these would you like to see first? I'm going to go through these photo backgrounds over here. Which of those would you like to see first? Would you like to see the smartphone mock-ups, the desktop mock-ups, the laptop mock-up, the table, or the TV and watch, or multiple devices? You tell me which you would like to see first. So show me in the chat box which one you would like to see first. You'll see I'm getting the laptop and the smartphone. The laptop and smart. Okay, Gavin wins because he was the first person to say TV. So let's go to the TV. All right. See what we have. We've got the watch, and we have the TV right here. Okay, so if I take that same image I had a little bit ago, let's grab somebody's URL. Let's do this. Let's just imagine for a moment that we've taken that URL. I'm going to go down here and grab someone's URL. And it went by pretty fast, so I've got to go pretty quickly here and see if I can find another person's URL. I believe that was it. And that URL does not have a very good looking URL. Let's find a different one here. And so you have three options. You can do a URL. I know I saw somebody else's here. You can do a URL, or you can do a file. You can grab a file and pull a file in, which we did here. So you can grab a file from off of your computer. You can grab a URL from off of your website. Can you imagine taking the website to a client and saying, this is what your website opening homepage is going to look like, and showing it from a device? Let me scroll back up here and catch in on the questions. Let's take this one. Better than that. Lucas, are we pulling the images in? It looks like I have the wrong, it looks like I typed in the wrong name. Let's see here. Let me try to copy that. Hard to copy this because we have so much going on. Let's go back to device again. Okay, great question, Rick. The question, and I realize you just joined. The answer to that question is yes. Yes, you get lifetime updates included in your original purchase. I'm getting an awful lot of love here that there's no OTOs, and so this is what you get. And the old hippie in me wants to say, how cool is that? All right, there is a great looking website. Now imagine taking that to your client, okay? Let's just grab this and we'll copy that. And we'll go out here and now we'll change the device. And let's put this on the laptop this time. And just imagine being able to share this with your customers, or with your clients, whatever you prefer, and you can show them this is what your website's going to look like. This is the design that we've had with this. Or here's a design that you can use to market your website. Okay, we haven't talked about that yet, but we will talk about that. Okay. And we do have the ability here with these images, with the photo backgrounds, to be able to turn on and off a realistic looking screen blur that makes that sense. Okay. Are we on Youzign or not? Are you seeing, what are you seeing? Are you seeing, no, you're seeing the correct setup. Okay, question here. If I have already purchased smart mockups directly, someplace also not received the integration. No, the integration will be there. I'll show you how to integrate in just a minute. All right. Great questions, great interactions going on here. So, are y'all able to see that just fine? We'll make sure that y'all are seeing that we don't have any issues. Screen blur adjusts the depth of field in your image. Okay, it changes the depth of field in your image. Carlos is asking, who does not have Youzign? That's a good question. Everybody ought to have Youzign. No question about that. So now if we take that same image and we put it here, we did it on a laptop. Now we have a desktop design. If we take that and we put it on a tablet, we can drop this same image inside of a tablet. We have this URL. I know we've done this a few times, but I want you to get a feel for just how powerful this really is. How easy is that? And there you go. Now you have the image inside of a tablet with somebody using the tablet. This is so easy. There's never been any, you don't have to do a screen capture. You can just capture it from a URL. Do you like that? Tell me if you think that's nice. Spence, we've answered that question a few times. How's this different than Dropmock? It seems to have the same, but it's easier to use. If for no other reason, the fact that it is easier to use makes it make sense. We just made it, but I just showed you a feature that you don't have. And that is the ability to be able to grab that URL and pull that in and show that. And you see how quickly that is. Very, very easy and very quickly. Grabs an image and pulls it in from a URL, pulls it in from Youzign. Now, the Youzign integration is amazing, and I'm going to take you to the Youzign dashboard now. But do you have any other questions while we're here? I did not get into the print, so let's take a quick look at the print designs here. And so you have some print designs that you can use. And those are business cards. You got a great little business card design there. And if we were to take this business card design, wait a minute, take that business card design. Let's just grab that image I had a minute ago, and we'll pull that back in. This little guy right here. I like that little guy. So we're going to grab him and pull him in. And there you go. You could use that in a business card design like that. Then you have stationery. And you can grab things and stick in your stationery like that. Okay. Lucas will have to answer your question, Beth. Okay. Then you have posters and flyers. Earlier, the question was asked about studio mock-ups or art studio mock-ups. And here you would have an art studio type of a mock-up here. Let's see if we have something in Youzign that we might be able to use that would make good sense. And there you have it. You have the ability to be able to put those side by side like that. Where did my image go? There it is. You could stack those out like that. And then when you save the image, I'm going to do this, and then you'll see what we're going to do with this in just a little bit. You can save the image, and you can save it as a low quality all the way to a super high quality. Okay, and so you decide if you're going to use it on the web, and it's going to be inside of a Facebook design, a Facebook news feed or something like that. It's a lower quality image. If you're going to use it on your as the background on your website, then you want to have a super high quality image, and so you pick the image size that you want to be able to save it as. Okay, so you have that. Then you have the ability to be able to save it in favorites. Okay, so when I was over here and I had my posters and flyers, if this is the one I'm going to show to my clients, and I'm going to put my mock-up on this one, then I'm going to save it as a favorite. I'll grab that same image. We'll put this in here. I'm going to save that. I'm going to save that template as a favorite. Keep that. I can download that. But there it is. I can save it and download it, or I can mark that as a favorite, and every time I load up, then I'll always have that favorite there. Okay. Here's another great comment. Did y'all catch the comment just made by Lucas? John, we plan to add GIF. Not sure about videos right now. If they add GIF, do you see what's happening with the integration and the partnerships here with Youzign and somebody like Smart Mockups? This is going to be brilliant. Y'all understand that, don't you? Do you understand that? I hope that makes good sense to you. And then finally you have the advertising pieces. And this was the advertising piece I showed you a while ago. And you have these. Okay. Now I want to quickly switch my screen before we run out of time this morning. And I'm going to do a different screen share. And we're going to go to we're going to go over to the canvas, because I want to show you something that I think you'll find pretty cool. This is what I meant earlier when I said there was a deep integration, because this is a deep integration with Youzign. Pretty special. You notice we have template sizes for Smart Mockups, and we've listed many of the things that you see just a minute ago inside of Youzign, so you can use that with smart mockups. Tell me if you think that's a pretty cool idea. This is pretty cool. This is just a pretty cool idea to be able to have the ability inside of here. So let's just take one of these. Rick is saying, and he's a user, Rick is saying that the integration with Youzign works great, and it does. We've done two things with that integration. One is that we've done this. We've sized our templates so that when you create something inside of this template, when you create something here, it will be the right, it will be close to, if it's not the exact size, it'll be croppable size to make it work inside of smart mockups. And so this is a great feature to be able to have. We've not ever done this before. This is a deep integration, and it gives you the ability to be able to, on the fly, create the things that are going to work in an amazing fashion for you. So let's grab my little funny guy here again, and we can pull this little guy, and you'll notice that when I do this, make this guy the right size here. This is going to be the right size inside of my mockups for a business card. Now, if I save this, call that my funny guy. Here. That's good to know. Lucas is saying that you'll get a notification about each update that takes place. That's great. That helps to stay on top of what's going on. I always like to be able to see that so that we know what to do next. But now I've saved this. Give me a chance to change my screen share. I'm going to go back to my smart mockup application. And I'm back here. I go to business cards. I grab the business card design here. I go to Youzign, and I can grab that little image right there. And when I meant a croppable a while ago, do you see here, some of the images have a little bit different layout, just a slightly different layout. And by adjusting that, you can crop that just a little bit and make that fit, okay? And then you put that right there. You can do the same thing with this one over here. Put the same image in there if you want to. You put a different image if you want to. Being able to have those multiples works really, really slick. But that's what I meant by that deep integration, is that you have inside of Youzign the templates already designed so that they will work correctly, so that they'll work correctly with your Youzign integrations, and you'll be able to pull those images directly into your designs when you save them to your dashboard. Okay, any questions about that yet? Because there's something else we can do. You show us a little more on the blur tool. It's a little harder to show that in a webinar like this. I would suggest that you just go in and play with the blur tool. Just turn it on and turn it off. That's all you need to do, Rick, and you can take a look at it. What it does is it gives you a depth of field so that you've got a preview. Your focus in your field of focus is clear, and your background starts to fade out. That's what the blur tool does, okay? A little harder to see that when you're doing this on a webinar because we don't have as clear a definition as you would see on your own desktop. Trying to see if there are any other questions before I go to the next thing. And the next thing is this. Let me delete this image here. Let's get rid of this. Let me get this out of the way. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to switch here, and you'll find the smart mock-up. And I had a little trouble finding it the first time because it doesn't have anything but just that box around the outside of it, which makes perfect sense for what we're doing with it. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go from this, I'm going to go over here and grab a Facebook image, a Facebook medium-size image. I'm going to get rid of this. Sometimes on a webinar, when I switch back and forth, a little trouble with my editing menu. We don't want that to pop up, so there we go. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take a previous image that we looked at earlier. I'm going to grab this from off my desktop and I'm going to upload it, because this is that other side integration that we have, and this is it right here. I want to see if I'd saved that image in the art gallery. Let's just grab this one right here. And I can take and create a Facebook ad from one of my images. Okay. Make this the right size for Facebook Medium. So now I've got that filling up that side of the screen, and I can run a banner down this side if I want to do that, and put my, so we'll just grab we'll create a box. I don't want to use a box because I want to come over a little bit on that rather than just doing the background. So you can grab a box like this, do that. Then I'm going to make that box the same color as the rug right there by using the color picker. And do that. And then you could run your text for your ad there, but you'll see what it looks like when you go to the preview. So what I've done is I've done a two-way thing. I have created this image inside of Youzign, put that image into Smart Mockups. I exported the image from Smart Mockups, and then I pulled it back in here so that I can, I'm sorry, I was supposed to have that on a Facebook device. It switched back and forth. There we go. Now we see what this is. All right. And we can put some text over here. If we wanted to put text over here, we could do that. And you'll see what that looks like in my Facebook ad right here. So you can actually use Smart Mockups both ways. You can create the image inside of Youzign, then import it into Smart Mockups, create your design here, and then you upload that design back into your canvas in Youzign and create a Facebook ad, or create a Twitter post, or whatever, or tweet, or whatever you want to do with that. You have that two-way integration, but it's made possible because of the incredible integration features that we have with this inside of Youzign, by not only having the smart mockup design, but also being able to import the images back and forth. Okay, any questions? We're hitting the end of this. So are there any questions that anybody has? Been a ton of questions asked. Y'all have done a great job of having communication back and forth, and we've had some good testimonies about what a wonderful piece of software this is, and how I'm amazed at the speed. I have a woman that is going to make a presentation today, and she needed to have some designs for her to make that presentation today of an actual site that was built. And I was able to put five very simple designs together for her and give them to her within about 5 minutes. Okay. Carol's asking how to use the color picker again. We get that question about the color picker a lot. And so when you click on your color image right here, click on the little toolbar right there, that little wrench. I love the little wrench. And you pull off of this, you'll notice that turns into a color picker, okay? And I can change that color to match any color whatsoever. All right. So when I put the color picker over the top of that, it picks the color that's there. Okay. And then when I click on it, it remains that color. Does that make sense, Carol? Okay. All right. Any questions that I have missed? A little hard for me to catch all these questions that are going. Lucas has done a great job of answering questions as we've gone along here. So I really appreciate y'all asking questions and Lucas jumping in here with us. Not very often do you get to have the designer of the program in on a webinar like this. So this is wonderful. This has been wonderful. Okay, answers Carol's question. Okay, Tyree had a question that got, hopefully your question got fixed, Tyree. How to save the fonts again. Okay, if you import fonts, I'll show you how to do, we'll do that on the next one. That's fine. Do we need to download the software again to upgrade, or is the upgrade built into the, okay, we did not talk about that part of the program. We didn't get into the back office, so let's do that real quickly, because there's just one thing I want you to see from that. And when you see it, you'll go, oh, that's where that's at. So when you're in the Smart Mockups window right here, up at the top where it says Smart Mockups, next at the very top of your page, where you see that at, there is, and I don't know if you can see this because I'm showing just the application, but when you, where it says Smart Mockups in your menu bar across the top, there is an integration tool. And when you click on the integrations, then what pops up is you have the option of being able to integrate your Youzign account right here. Okay, and you do that from your profile inside of Youzign. So you go to your Youzign account, open up your profile, and you will have, and it shows you right here what it is that you have. You have a public API key, and then down here you have a API token. Okay, those two things need to be imported, and as soon as you do that, and then you refresh this, all right, then you'll have Youzign will appear as an option button for importing your images. Okay. All right, I'm looking carefully at the questions where we go. Lucas, can you address the PSD files, please? There you go. Simply drag and drop the PSD file into the app. Okay. Good, because all I had time to do was use it with Youzign, which is all I plan to do with it, is use it with Youzign. And I plan to use the living daylights out of it with Youzign. The API is fairly straightforward. It's you open up your account. I'll show you how to do that. All right, let me change my screen again. You open up your Youzign account. Give me just a second. This thing does not want to play well today. You open up your Youzign account. You go to your dashboard. Dashboard is your driver's seat for Youzign. And then right here, you open up your profile. And under your profile, right here's your public key, and there's your token. Okay? That's where you find that at. All right. Anything else before we go? Because we're about to wrap up here. So y'all have did y'all get you saw the image when I made that available earlier? You saw where to go. You know to go to you know where to go to the sales page. So you've got that. Can somebody drop that URL in again for him, please? Johnny's asking the question about the login URL. If you could drop that in for me again, it's in the offers. You should be able to see it under the offers. If you click on the offers, it should be there. Lucas is saying, if you have any more questions, get in touch with support at smartmockups.com. Good job. Great conversation today. Great idea. Thank you, Gaynor. Appreciate you doing that for us so that everybody would get a chance to see that in case you didn't know where to find that link. That's wonderful. All right, folks. Is there anything else before we sign off today? We're up against the wall. Thank you so much for joining us. I really, really appreciate that. And so we have some great testimonies from some great people who are already using smart mockups with Youzign and loving it. So this is great. Paul, the answer to that question is yes, it's recorded and it will be available next week under support. Okay. Looks like you all did a good job. Good job today. I appreciate your input, your questions. Appreciate everything that you've done. Appreciate Luke coming on with us today. Lucas came on and answered all the questions that people have pertaining to the details about the program. Wonderful, wonderful experience. Thank you so much for joining us this weekend. This Friday. Have a safe weekend. That's what I meant to say. Thank you for joining us on Friday and have a safe weekend. And I look forward to seeing you right back here next week. Same time, same place. Can't wait to talk to you again. Thanks.